Steps Big Happy. How are you doing? Happy New Year! It is January 1st. It's a new year. I'm excited. I think 2022 is going to be great. I think it's going to be really good year. I'm feeling very good about it. I am going in it feeling strong and motivated and kind of ready to see what I can do this year. I'm excited. I got some good things coming up this year. I really do. But before I talk about that, I got things today, y'all. I got things to talk about. I'm excited. So before I talk about that, I just want to talk about how the holiday season went for me. It was it was less than great. I, of course, as always, was feeling a bit stressed and overwhelmed, and it's having all the things on my plate that are just there all the time, and then throwing in Christmas and presents and wrapping and traveling and all that, which can be definitely stressful and hard. And then I was sick, which was also not great. I was sick over Christmas specifically. I was a total lump. Thank goodness my mom was here. She absolutely saved Christmas. We usually do like the whole big dinner and we cook all the stuff, and I just laid there. I had to make the kids bring me presents. I was running a fever. Like it was just a bad cold. It wasn't anything like serious, but I felt like crap and didn't want to do anything. And so thank goodness she was here and was able to do it, because had she not been here, it would have been just us probably eating frozen pizza, because that's about all my husband cooks. So I kept telling my mom, I'm like, you saved Christmas. But other than me being sick, we had a good time. Like, my kids had a good Christmas. I did have a good time when I wasn't feeling like a lump. It was good other than being sick, so I will say that. But on top of that, I have been planning the coaching group that is starting next month, and I've been planning a challenge to go with it to kind of kick it off, which, is going to be so much fun, but is also work for me to get everything set up and to get it going so it can just kind of flow as well as possible without me feeling like a crazy person during it. I can actually just participate in it as well and do it with everybody. It requires me to kind of set everything up beforehand, and so I've been trying to do all that around Christmas, and it has just been craziness. So the holidays were a little crazy. December was a crazy month. But I'm feeling good about January. I am so excited that the coaching group is starting soon. I think it's going to be fabulous. I cannot wait to get some people in there and we can start going over stuff and working stuff and just learning new things and working together as a group. Like, I cannot tell y'all how much better it is when you are working on your healthy habits and stuff and you have other people do it with you. Like, it's just so much more fun. It's so much more motivating. It's so much more inspiring. Like, it is so much easier, better. I wish I had better words for this. So I could really describe it in a way I could be like, yeah, but it's just so much nicer to do it with other people. It really is. And I've got some great topics lined up, which I think are going to be so helpful and so informative and just cut through all the crap so you can just do the things, right? Like, that is what I'm planning. I'm super pumped about it. So that has kind of been the last, few weeks / month. And it being January 1st, it's kind of time to look to the new year. It's kind of time to shake off the things that didn't go well, didn't go as planned, weren't what you wanted them to be, and to really just decide, like, what is 2022 going to be for you? What do you want for it? Last year, I came across this idea of coming up with a word for the year. And that was super, like, man, I'd never heard that, but that was great, just what I needed. And so I've done that again this year. I'm going to tell y'all what the one I picked at the end. But before we get into that, I want to talk to y'all about my health and fitness goals for 2022. So I set health goals every year. Health and fitness goals. I think it's super important. Y'all have probably heard me say this a billion times, but in order to get to where you want to go, you need a plan. And the best way to have a plan is to know exactly what you want to do. Like, when you are specific and clear about your goals, it makes it so much easier to decide what you need to do to achieve them. A lot of us tends to have very wishy-washy goals. I need to get in better shape. I need to lose some weight. I want to look like how I used to, I want to feel better. I want to look better. But that is so vague. And when your goal is vague, then you don't really feel connected to what you need to do to get there, right? Like, I should eat better, but what does that mean? And when you're busy and you're tired and your kids are sick and you're running around like crazy, this idea that I should eat better, like your brain can't process it. When you're dealing with all the things, your brain is not going to sit there and be trying to solve a problem. Well, I should be eating better. Does that mean that I eat this or I eat that, right? Like, when we're in the thick of things of our life, we aren't going to think through those things. We're just going to go on automatic. We're just going to go on, automatic, not thinking about it, just get through the day type of thing. And then we look up weeks later, months later, and we're like, crap, I haven't made any progress towards eating better, towards losing weight. Like, that is not what I want for y'all and myself. So I always set health and fitness goals, and I like to try to be as clear as possible. So I'm going to give y'all kind of the quick version, because really I could be here all day talking about this, and I've got other things I want to share with y'all today. So, quick rundown of my goals. Number 1, maintain my weight loss. That might seem obvious and not something that would be worth writing down, but that is an important thing for me, right? That's an important goal. I worked really hard to lose the weight. It took a lot for me to even figure out how to do it. I want to keep it off. It is so much easier to maintain than to re-lose. So, it is important to me, and I write it down and think about it every year. I want to maintain my weight loss. And part of that is because the habits that I do, I want to remember this keeps me here. This keeps me at this weight. This keeps me feeling good about my body. This keeps me feeling confident. This keeps me feeling strong. This helps me maintain my weight loss. And so, meal planning every day, right? Meal prepping every week, drinking my water, getting my workouts in, working on my mindset around not overeating, doing all those things helps me maintain this goal, and this is an important goal. And so I write it down, even though it should be obvious, right? Like, of course she wants to maintain her weight loss. Yeah, I know, but I want to remind myself that when I wake up and I'm like, I don't feel like writing my meal plan down, that seems stupid. No, right? This is my brain, right? I'm telling myself, no. You want to maintain your weight loss? This makes a difference with that. And so I make sure I get it done. So I just always think it's important to write it down. Even if it seems obvious or simple, I want to remind myself that these habits that I do matter, and they're important, and they make a difference, and they make a difference, an important goal in my life. Okay, so that's number 1. Number 2 is I want to run 4 races this year. A while back, a couple years back, I ran a half marathon, and it was this huge thing for me, like, no kidding, probably one of the biggest accomplishments I've ever done in my life, because I was somebody who back in the day hated the word cardio. So to have trained well enough, strong enough to get myself to be able to run a half marathon was huge. Now, like the very next weekend I broke my leg, and I'm probably not up for that type of distance again, but I want to make sure that I don't lose what I can do now, right? And so, I've worked hard. I went through a lot of physical therapy, and I worked very hard to be able to run it all again. And so I don't want to lose that. I want to keep that up, and one of the things that motivates me the most to train is races. So, and I've been getting my family to do them with me. So I'm very excited about that. One of my goals this year is for races, and so I'm hoping to maybe do like one every quarter or so. I have already signed up to do a 5K with my daughter in January, and so we're going to be training kind of hard to get ready for that. And then there is a 5K that started up last year. It's for the Dagny Foundation, which is run by a woman who has had a big impact in my life, and so I'll probably want to do that again. I think it was in like June or July. And so if they have that again, I'm definitely doing that one. So that might be 2. And so I'm going to keep my eye open for 2 other races that I can do this year. But that is a goal of mine. I am kind of excited about it. It feels slightly ambitious. Like, I've only done a handful of races. So for me to be like, I'm going to do 4 this year, it feels like a lot. But I work harder when I have those specific goals with the timeline and you have to put in the work if you're going to be ready for this. I'm probably going to keep them all at about 5K or shorter, I have strengthened my leg a lot to be able to run even the 5K, but I don't want to make myself miserable. So that's my goal. I'm kind of excited. I'm pumped about it. I think it's going to be good. My third goal for this year is that I'm going to do a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu tournament. So I don't know how many of y'all know, but I train Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. I'm a brown belt, and I have not competed at the brown belt level yet. And so I have a tournament that I am signed up for in February. I am super nervous. I don't know if y'all can tell, but I am very nervous. I don't even know how I'm going to do, but it's an important part of the journey to go and test myself and kind of throw my hat in the ring, so to speak, and put myself out there. It's part of it. I won't even say it's my favorite part, but it is an important part. And so I'm going to go compete in February. And so I will be training hard for that and doing lots of jiu-jitsu and really kind of focusing on that really hard for February until February for that. So that's kind of big. I mean, it's happening early in the year, but it is something that I want top of mind. Kind of like I talked to you guys about before with my first goal, though, is that when I write it down, when I keep it top of mind, it helps me prepare for it. It helps me to put in the work now and remember why it's important. So over the next couple weeks, in the next month or so, when I go to sit down and make an eating choice, what's going to help me perform best at the tournament? What's going to help fuel my body really well? What's going to help me train better? Those are the things I'm going to be thinking about, and those are the thoughts that are going to be in the back of my mind as I'm making my choices. When I decide how much water I'm going to drink, how much sleep I'm going to get, what eating choices am I going to make? It's going to be reminding myself, does this help your goal? What helps your goal? Deciding right now what is important to me, and then picking the actions that are going to help me get there and reminding myself of that regularly. A lot of people will make goals and then they forget about them and they put them on the back burner and they just kind of oh, okay, well, one day, hopefully. But if you want to get them, you need to A, write them down, B, commit to doing your best to achieve them, and then C, remind yourself about them regularly so you can continue to tune into that and continue to remind yourself why this is worth it even when you don't feel like it right now. Because that's really what it is. Like people think motivation is always this exciting feeling, and sometimes it is, but sometimes motivation is I don't want to, but I know it's worth my time anyway. Sometimes that's what motivation looks like. People want it always to be this flashy thing. And it's not, right? Life happens. You have bad days. We're up and down and all over the place. And sometimes it's just doing it anyway, even when you don't feel like it, because you know it's worth it. And you know that later you're going to be glad you did. Sometimes that's what motivation looks like. So that's why I think setting goals is so important, and putting a plan in place and deciding what actions you're going to take to get you there so that you can rely on that and use that to help fuel you when you don't feel like it. Because of course those times happen. Everybody doesn't feel like it sometimes. I promise you, look at anybody who you admire, the shape that they're in, the way that they eat, how they exercise, any of that stuff. I promise you there are days that they don't feel like it, but they find the reason that makes it worth it anyways. So it's an important thing about. Okay, and then the last thing. Okay, so I told you guys my 3 main goals. Those are kind of my big ones. And I might pick up some more along the year. Nothing, goals aren't set in stone. You set them, you start working towards them, and maybe you achieve them and you set some more. Maybe you start working towards them and you decide you don't even care about this anymore, and you set different ones, right? That's totally fine. Nothing's set in stone. But you still need a starting point, right? So I still think it's important. So those are my 3 goals for the year. I'm excited about them. We will see how things progress as we go along. On to my word of the year. I'm so excited about it, you guys. Just because I feel so good about it, and that's the whole point of a word of the year, is something that you're like, yes. So last year my word was patience, and that was a really good one for me last year. I definitely needed that one. I'd been working on some things and they were not producing the desired results, and I was feeling very discouraged and kind of defeated almost. And it was that feeling where it's like, but I tried so hard and I didn't get there. And that feeling sucks. And it was hard, and there were tears, and I was frustrated, and I still had this thought in the back of my mind, though, that I was like, but if I give up, I'm never going to get there. Like, I didn't get there now. I did all these things, and I didn't get where I'd wanted to be. But if I give up, I can guarantee I'm never going to get there. And so what I wanted for myself is patience, that it was going to take longer than I thought. And it might going to take more work than I thought. I know maybe it wasn't going to look exactly like I wanted it to or like I thought it should. But I needed patience, because a lot of times, and this is something that if you're somebody who struggles with results not coming fast enough, I kind of want you to think about this. When we get defeated or discouraged, it's only because our expectations were I won't even say unrealistic, because sometimes maybe they are unrealistic, but it's because our expectations were different than our reality turned out to be. But if we were patient, if we were okay that it didn't happen exactly the way or the same timeline that we wanted, we wouldn't feel really that bad about it. It would just be like, oh, okay, well, I guess I got to keep going. Do you know what I mean? Like, that's the difference between putting in the work, maybe not getting where you want to be and feeling like crap and wanting to quit, versus putting in the work, not getting where you want to be, and just realizing more work's going to be needed. That's the difference. Like, it doesn't feel bad when you're not angry that it didn't happen yet. It only feels bad when we're impatient. And so I wanted myself to have patience in order to keep going, and in order to be okay with things not being the way I wanted to be. And I mean, it was exactly what I needed last year, and that word served me so well, and it got me to where I am now, feeling so much better, feeling so much more inspired, so much more motivated, so much more focused, so much more ready, right? Like, whereas last year I felt I needed patience, this year I'm like, I'm ready, and I'm excited, and I'm so focused. And so that was a really good word for me last year. So my word for this year is become. Now, if you don't get it, that's okay. I went through a whole process to kind of come up with this word. Like, I made a list of 30 words that, like, when I thought about this year, what are the words that come to mind? And then I kind of like picked like my top 7 or 8, and then I picked my top 3, and then I picked the one. And so my word for this year is become. And it's all about, who do I want to be in 2022? What's the person that I want to become? And how can I become her? How can I support her? What do I need to do today to get me there? One of the phrases that's been working really, really well for keeping me going this year is thinking to myself, how can I make my life easier tomorrow? Because what most of us do, and something I've done forever, is put off things for tomorrow. So how can I make today easier, and I'll just do it tomorrow. I'll fix it tomorrow. I'll be better tomorrow. I'll try harder tomorrow. I'll do the workout tomorrow. I'll eat better tomorrow, right? Like, it's so easy to put the hard work of our lives off until tomorrow. But tomorrow comes and we are the exact same person, and we feel the exact same way, and we still don't want to do it today. So then we put it off for tomorrow. And what we're putting off is the life that we want for ourselves till tomorrow. In depriving ourselves of it today, and then we keep pushing that life off, and the things that we want, and our goals and our dreams and the people that we want to be, we keep pushing that off for tomorrow over and over and over again. We never get there. And so what I've been really thinking and trying lately is, like, how can I make my life easier tomorrow? How can I make tomorrow better? If I'm capable today, let me make tomorrow better. Let me set myself up for success tomorrow. Let me make tomorrow easier. Let me make tomorrow better. I want tomorrow to wake up and look back at the day before and be like, dang, good job. Thank you for that. Thank you for that. That's what I want for myself, right? Like, if I think about my future self, I don't want to make her life harder. I want to make her life better. I want to make her life easier. I want to enable her to work and become the person that I want to be. And so that has been fueling me so much lately. Like, when I think about how do I want to eat today, right? When I get this eating decision, then I think about, okay, tomorrow I want to wake up and feel good about my eating decisions. Tomorrow I want to wake up and see the number I like to see on the scale. Tomorrow I want to feel that much more stronger and confident that I can stick to my healthy habits, that I'm going to show up for my workout, that I'm going to make the good eating choices, that I'm going to stop when I'm satisfied, I'm going to drink my water, right? Like, I know tomorrow I'm going to want to be capable and good and able to do all those things. And so then today, what decision helps me be able to do that tomorrow? And it's like, you know, if it's easier to stop when you're satisfied, the more you practice. I need to practice today. If it's easier to do my workout tomorrow because I did the one today, and so therefore I'm stronger tomorrow, I want to do that workout today. And so that is what I've been using to fuel me and to motivate me and to make me do the things when I don't want to do the things. And it's all about who do I want to become? How can I help the person I'm going to be tomorrow? How can I help her? And so that is something that I really want to take with me throughout the year, because I mean, I can apply it to all the places in my life. You know, what type of business owner can I become? What type of coach do I want to become? What type of parent? What type of wife? You know, what type of friend? All of those things are very tied to each other in terms of how I think about them in the times that I need to show up and do the things, even if I don't feel like doing them. And so that is my word for the year. I am very excited about it because, like I said, I think 2022 is going to be a great year. I think it's going to be amazing. I think so many good things are going to come out of this. And when I think about that word become, it inspires me, motivates me, you know, gets me going to want to go after those things. So it was kind of a long video, but it's the new year and I'm excited, and I just want to share that with you guys because I want all the excitement I have for my year for 2022. I have that for you too, and I want that for you too, and I want you to be as excited and as motivated and as pumped about reaching your goals this year as I am. So I hope that was helpful for y'all. Happy New Year. I hope you guys have a really good day, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.